Record. Yay. Okay. Good evening, everybody. Happy April. Who can believe who's still in April and in snow? There's a lot of you. I'm so sorry. I think we're on our fourth winter, many of us, but it's going to get warmer. I just know it. I believe it. And this call is going to warm you up in a big way as well. We have a really special guest tonight. I want to first just remind everybody that we have Life Vantage Academies back this month. It will happen, as always, the third Saturday of the month, so April 15th. And you can register for that. Make sure you register. It's going to be virtual for everybody. You can register by going to events at the bottom of your website. And it'll be right under events. You'll see the link there. And then also, with the beginning of the month, let your guide be the 3-in-1 worksheet. And if you don't know where that's at, make sure to ask your upline Pro 5 or above, and they will get that to you. But it's just a great guide, a great resource to help you and also help those new consultants that come on board to really take advantage of the bonuses that are available to them. So Sean and Michelle are at a rewards reception tonight for their two beautiful girls, which is so amazing. So I'm in charge, and so be nice and just really give a lot of feedback and interact with our very special guest tonight, who is Michael Huey. Michael Huey is originally from Lancaster, Ohio. You don't have much of an accent, though. I just realized that, Michael. Anyway, after high school, he attended the Ohio State University, where he was a 4-year letterman in track and field. He also received a degree in nutrition, exercise science, and sports management. And he was recently nominated for an honorary PhD in nutrition. So cool. Michael also received an 8-year theology degree in Christian studies from Christian Life School of Theology and is a licensed minister. He is a master educator for the American Council of Exercise, 25 plus certifications from fitness, nutrition to anti-aging. Yes, Mario. Founder and CEO of He Influence, the #1 second chance coaching company on the planet. And in 2019, he received the Monumental Business Award at Thrive, which has been voted by Forbes Inc. and Huffington Post as the #1 entrepreneurial event of the year for the past 5 years. He loves to work out, bike, and golf, and he is married to his amazing wife, Lisa, and they live now in Groveland, Florida, after spending the last 25 years in the Tampa Bay area. And they love God and they love serving others. And that is why he's here tonight. So Michael, we cannot wait to hear what you have to share. The floor is yours.
I just want to first say happy birthday to my friend Leslie Powell. Yeah, happy birthday to you. So, and hey guys, wasn't that great? Thank you so much, Tanya Poe. Guys, well, I'm super excited to share with you guys tonight. I was talking to Michelle today, and it was about 7 years ago that I got to spend some time with them here in Orlando, Florida, and just fell in love with them. Like, I've been friends with them ever since. They brought their kids, and their kids were like real little when we went to Disney, right? And so I'm going to share something. I shared this with Tanya, and I'm going to value the time because Michelle kind of gave me a time frame of about 25 to 30 minutes. So I'm going to give you pieces of some things that I've learned recently that has allowed me to qualify for the Builder program every single month that we've had it since the beginning. Now we've qualified for Diamond. And so these are things that we're doing that's happening every single month, and we're teaching our team to do that. And it's really funny. There's my amazing wife that's on here now too, here supporting me. I love that she's here too. And I do have I am married to one of the most incredible humans ever. And so I want to say this. I talked to my upline, Brandon Cunningham, and he said, I just wanted you to know that you're really close to becoming the first silver in my organization. I was like, what? Like, you're a Pro 10, man? Like, nobody said silver in your organization? And so that's my goal. My goal is to help people and to be incredible. How many of you are super excited about the Evolve plan, right? Like, guys, we have needed this, right? We have needed this. we have needed. When Brandon also called me and said, hey, by the way, your check's going to go up about 30%. Now, how many of you would like it if Steve Fife called you and said, hey, Leslie, hey, Tanya, hey, everybody, hey, Lydia, hey, Darlene, your check's going to go up 30% this month. Think you might work a little bit harder to get it to go up even more? Yes. Okay, so what I'm going to share with you tonight is something, and Tanya, if you can make me a co-host, I would love to, just in that way, if it's something happens that you can just, I'm not going to share my screen.
You're a co-host.
Okay, cool. I was going to, but I decided that I'm just going to share some stuff with you guys tonight that I think will help you. And if you're here, please do me a favor, take some notes tonight, because I'm going to give you some takeaway steps tonight. And I'm going to teach you something. Tanya and I were on before. We're the early birds, so we like to come on early and listen. And they said that usually Leslie's on here doing some teaching before, but she wasn't on here tonight. So it's her birthday, right? So I'll just say this. So what I did, one of the things I did is I became friends with a guy named Ray Higdon, who's been teaching network marketers for years. He's became a man of faith like myself. My wife and I have been at his home, and he taught this thing called the 4 Ps. And I'm gonna teach it to you guys tonight. And I believe that if you listen to what I'm about to share and you take action on it, you're gonna see why we're attracting the top nutritionists, the top doctors, the top moms, influencers. A lady who spoke at one of our conferences a couple of years ago is now a distributor. Like, all these people are coming to LifeVantage. And guess what? I talked to Lisa Barnes. If you guys have not met Lisa Barnes, she is one of our chief, I forget her title. She has this really cool title now, like chief operations of something. It's really cool. It's a cool title, right? And she told me, she says, Michael, I've been in the nutrition and science industry for 20 years, and I had never heard about LifeVantage. And she was at Nu Skin for 5 years, $1 billion company. She's like, and she said, LifeVantage came after me. And she says, all I had to do was look at the science. She said, and I wanted to be a part of something that was going to change history. So you guys are a part of something that's going to change history. So let's dive in. I'm going to talk to you. I'm going to share the 4 Ps with you first, and you can write them down, and then I'm going to go over each of them. So the first one is pipeline. Second one is posture. Third one is position. And the fourth one is perspective. Pipeline, posture, position, and perspective. Now, I've been implementing these, you guys. I've taken them and really taken action. And here's what I say all the time to my coaching clients, to my business partners. I have a new diamond that I helped build in the last 3 months that's staying at my house now for 3 weeks down in Florida. Him and his wife, if you guys watched, Michelle posted a presentation that I did on Thursday with his wife, Robia, which is really funny. She used to dance for Prince when she was younger back in the day. She was on Beverly Hills 90210. And then she gave her life to God, and she went all doing Christian films. And so I'm super excited. I'm super excited that I never gave up on them, and that now they're running with me with LifeVantage. Okay, so let's start with pipeline. Now this is super important. I'm going to tell you what I did. And whether you buy a journal, whatever you do, I would tell you at the end, I talk about a journal that I bought from Ray it's a 90-day journal. You need to make sure that you have something that you can write down. Let me just preface this at the beginning today. The difference between the wisdom and the knowledge that you learn tonight will only happen by the action that you take. Okay? The difference between wisdom and knowledge that you learn tonight is the action that you take. Okay, so when you're done tonight, I hope that you will take some action on what you've learned. So let's talk about pipeline. So a pipeline is how many people you're reaching out to on a regular basis. Okay, how many people are you following up with? I like it that whenever I send somebody something through the app, I send it to them through their email also. And then now with Gmail, it tells me, it keeps it in my category. If you have a Gmail address, it says follow up. And then that way you can constantly go back through the app, through your email. I've learned that the more times I follow up with people, the more likely I am to build a deeper relationship with them. Okay, so how much value are you sharing with others? Are you stretching yourself and going live on Facebook or Instagram? How many samples are you giving out? One of my good friends gave a couple samples out this week to 3 different people, and 2 of the 3 people signed up. And here's what I want you to think about pipeline. Pipeline is just the number of people that you're working on at any given time. So whether that's 25 or 30 or 50, whatever that number is for you, okay, but you need to be increasing that on a regular basis, okay? Well, how did I do that? Let me tell you this. It starts with building relationships with new people every day. Think about that. It starts with building new relationships with new people every day. Honing in on those, saying hi, asking them questions, building a rapport. I'm going to give you an example here in a minute of how my friend James has been doing that, okay? Maybe it's Instagram, maybe it's Twitter, maybe for me it was Clubhouse. I'm going to tell you guys, I built 20,000 followers on an app called Clubhouse, okay? Now I'm focused on going back to at least 5 to 10 people from Clubhouse. How many of you would like to have 20,000 people that you could share with over the rest of this year? Okay, raise your hand, right? Okay, so, and then journal. Guys, you have to keep track of the people that you're sharing with, whether you do that in the app or whether you buy a journal or whether you buy a notebook or a pad. If you don't write it down or you don't put it in the app, you won't follow up with people, okay? And remember how many people know that it takes about 5 times to follow up with people, right? To get people to sign up, it's usually about 5 times, right? Okay, so let's go into the second P. The second P is posture, okay? Posture is this. It's belief in what you have, regardless of external acceptance or approval. Write that down. Regardless of external acceptance or approval. It means that you have to be totally okay and not get sucked down into negative energy. How many of you know, by a show of hands, that rejection sucks? Rejection is terrible. It took me 53 years to overcome rejection. Tanya and I were talking about it before we got on this call, right? Like, it's okay when people tell you no. It really is, right? How many of you know that your families will tell you no? I have, my grandmother told me this scripture when I was younger. She said, a prophet is not welcome in his own hometown. That means that people are going to tell you no, okay? So, and you have to be okay with it. So if you allow yourself to have a reaction to rejection in a negative manner, you're really going to struggle, okay? You're really going to struggle. And I remember when my grandmother told me, rejection is just God's protection. And I was like, oh, maybe I should figure that out, right? It's all about relationships. When people are naysaying or hating you or trolling you or telling you you're not smart, I can't believe you're doing that, or you're in this, or I can't believe whatever, what are you doing? I can't believe you're doing this. Then you need to be able to stand strong, look yourself in the mirror, and have confidence. Do you guys understand that you're with, in my mind, as somebody who was nominated for a PhD in my industry, you're in, not only are you in the greatest network marketing company, but you're in the greatest nutrition company in history, okay? Do you guys know that this partnership with Linus Pauling Institute, Linus Pauling is the #1 nutraceutical research company in the world. And I'll tell you what's really cool. Lisa Barnes told me that she's building relationship with Harvard and MIT and Dr. Zan and all of these people. And she told me that Aaron Brockovich is bringing in all these people to educate and to evaluate. There's a lot of really cool things happening. You guys, there's a lot of really cool things happening. Okay, so I'm going to give you a little example to understand, okay? If someone is negative, don't listen to this, write this down. If someone is negative, don't try to convince them, okay? Take it away from them, right? Just ask them questions. Don't overcomplicate things. Guess what? They're not the expert, you are, okay? Don't try to complicate things, right? And guess what? I say this all the time. The person who asks the most questions gets the right answers and influences the most people. Write that down. Person who asks the most questions, gets the right answer, and influences the most people. That's golden right there. We could ride off into the sunset, Tanya, with that right there, right? Okay, so position. Think about this. Position is number 3. Guys, I think position is the most important thing of all. Position is understanding where the prospect is, where your friend is. You know, you need to understand that the first thing to find out about a friend or prospect is, are they open to learning more? Ray tells me this all the time. If they're not open to learning, you don't want to share with them. Okay, you have to be able to ask them those questions. They don't know what it is. They don't know what you have to share with them, but you have to ask them, you know, ask them questions. Here's some questions you can ask. Okay. How's your sleep? How's your energy? Do you have any health situations that you're struggling with now? What about your mom and your dad or your family? You know, how's your energy level? How many people know that people struggle with energy? Do you have brain fog? You know, here's an example that Ray used that I had to steal it from him because I couldn't think of a better way of doing this, but here's something that I think is super important. For example, if a guy walks into a hotel and he goes up to a girl and says, "Hey, drinks are on me tonight." And she looks at him and says, "What?" But she's not ready for drinks on him, right? But if the same guy walks up and says, "Hey, are you alone tonight? Can I buy you a drink?" Right? You've asked them a question to get an answer. Okay, so you have to ask questions. Okay. Tanya, hold on one second. Okay, sorry about that, you guys. My computer's about to go dead, so I asked my buddy to come and help me out. So, okay, so let's finish up with this last one. Okay. What makes a lot more sense to you may not make more sense to the other person. Are they looking to feel better? Are they looking for more energy? You know, I'm going to give you a quick example of my new distributor, James. He had let a person watch the biohackandactivate.com video. And then he was on the phone with her for about 30 minutes. And halfway through from asking questions, she was looking for an opportunity. And he said, "Hey," he just kept letting her talk. And I said, "James, that's probably one of the best calls I've ever heard, because she wanted to be heard. She didn't want him to try to sell her on anything. She was already sold. She said, 'I'm looking for an opportunity, James.' And when I watched the Biohack and Activate video, this is what she said. She said, 'I had never seen anything like it, and I wanted to know more.'" Okay. So what's the third part of the T? The team. So you know what he did? He said, "Great. In 20 minutes, how much time do you have for the rest of the day?" He said to her. And she said, "You have me the rest of the morning." He goes, "Okay, great. In 20 minutes, my friend Mike Huey," and then he edified me, "is doing a 30-minute presentation, and his guest is going to be a chiropractor who also has a doctorate in nutrition." She was like, "Okay." And she took it, and then she watched, and then she signed up. Remember, you have to constantly be positioning yourself. Sometimes it's better to just listen. You know what my grandmother told me? We have 2 ears and 1 mouth for a reason. Okay? You have 2 ears and 1 mouth for a reason. It goes back to asking questions. Remember? Who remembers? Asking the person to ask the most questions, gets the right answers, and wins all the time. Okay, so here's the last one, perspective. I really love this part about this. The speed factor. Okay, here's what it is. The speed factor is your mindset. There's a scripture that says, "As a man thinketh, therefore he becomes." Okay, and there's a great book by James Allen called "As a Man Thinketh." If you've never read that book, I would encourage you to read that book. It will change your life. Okay. Now listen, the speed factor is your mindset. Now that may sound strange to a lot of you. Okay. You would think the speed factor is to increase your pipeline. Okay. Person who shares with the most people signs up the most people, right? It's not always true, you guys. Okay. It's not always true. That's a good idea. I'm not telling you not to do that. You should do that. But here's what I've found. And I've seen it in people that work really, really hard and had a lot of numbers, but they have a terrible mindset. Okay. How many of you know people that have a terrible mindset? Okay. They're always negative. This doesn't work, right? They will get fewer results than a person that has a great mindset that does less. Write that down. Okay. I'm telling you, guys, and listen, I'm not encouraging you to do less. I'm encouraging you to increase your mindset. So why is perspective the final P? Remember, I said pipeline, posture, and position. Perspective is the fourth P. Why? It's where the majority of your time is spent. Okay? Is in your mind. Should I call that person? Should I pick up the phone? Should I go to a meeting? Should I go to Life Vantage Academy? And the answer is yes. Okay. Even when you don't feel like it. When I first got involved in this business, I was in about 5 years and I love college football. Okay. I'm a big college football fan. Right. And, it was called Premier School then. And I had scheduled to go to an Ohio State game in Oklahoma. And I got the tickets and I got my airfare. And I was so excited. And my wife said, we got a problem. And I said, no, we don't. We don't have any problems. Ohio State's going to beat Oklahoma, right? And she said, it's the same weekend as Premier School. And I was like, oh, really? So here's what I did. Instead of flying into Oklahoma, I flew into Dallas, Texas, and I rented a car and I drove all the way to Waco, Texas to hear Cassie Teal speak. And then I drove all the way to Oklahoma and I got stuck in traffic for 3.5 hours. How many people might have been like mad at themselves for doing that, right? But it was my perspective. It was my perspective. There was a rain delay and the game was suspended for 2.5 hours. I pulled in the stadium with 2 minutes before kickoff. Why? Because I was committed. I had a perspective. I didn't, let me ask you guys this question. Are you focused on sharing and noticing and learning and growing because you want to? Because that's where it starts. It starts with your mind. If you see something that you want, then you have to take action to get there. Listen to this. Okay. You're going to get more of whatever your energy is, and most specifically, whatever you want or whatever you focus on. If you focus on negative things or negative people, this was a quote by Neville Goddard. Listen to this, the feelings and emotions you carry are in conflict. The feelings and emotions will be the victor. Listen to that. You guys hear that, how important that is? If you focus on positive, and here, I'm going to give you guys another really quick book that I think is super important. Okay, it's called Boundaries by Dr. Cloud and Dr. Townsend. Okay, it's probably my top 3 favorite books. You guys know why we don't get what we want? We get what we are. Think about that. If we are the person that is constantly, oh, this traffic's terrible. Oh, this coffee sucks. Oh, my spouse doesn't support me. I'm glad my spouse supports me. If we were constantly focused on all the things that we don't want, you simply get more of what you don't want. Write that down. Okay? If we're constantly focused on all the things that we don't want, you just simply get more of what you don't want. Okay? Listen to this, and I'll yield with this. You need to focus on the things that you actually do want. And listen to this, in a very specific way. Life and death is in your tongue. If you have a goal, what did I say on this call? My goal is to become the first silver in the Cunningham's organization. I'm really close. This is the month. Okay? So speak with authority. Write things down. Cast a vision. Cast a big net. Yes, Proverbs, absolutely. Cast a big net, right? All right, Amy's and Grant are ready to go for a race. Let's go. All right, so I just want to finish with this and then I'll yield it back to Tanya. Guys, you have a once in a lifetime opportunity. I started over. I started over because I did this business wrong. I told Tanya I wanted this more for people than they wanted it for themselves. Okay? And when your chief science officer says no one knows about LifeVantage, does it really matter if somebody rejects you? Does it really matter if they don't get it? No, it doesn't. Because guess what? You're in the right place at the right time with the right people and the right products. I believe because of the momentum, I was telling Tanya, you know, I'm praying every day for God to bring me the right people, right? I'm praying every day, right? I mean, think about it. I'm praying. We were laughing yesterday. We were watching the college basketball, the Iowa game last night, and they asked the coach, Kim from LSU, how do you stop Caitlin Clark? And she said, pray. Right? So we need to have that proper mindset. Okay. So just remember those 4 P's, you guys. Okay. Remember those 4 P's as I said them earlier. Okay. Pipeline, posture, position, and perspective. Okay. And it's been an honor to be with you guys tonight. I hope that you guys, I had an expectation when I came here tonight that this would be great for everybody. I got in here early. I prayed and I said, God, I really want people to leave here different tonight than when they came in. And I hope that you did that, because I think that the information that you were given, if you do what I said, you take the wisdom and the knowledge. God says this, why do we lack wisdom? It's because we don't ask for it, right? So I ask for it, and then I give it, and then I take action on the revelation that I got from what I just learned. And when when Ray shared that stuff with me, I did my research and then I took action. So guys, thanks for letting me share. Tanya, Poe, Sheldon, right? Guys, thank you for letting me share. It has been my honor and my privilege. And so God bless you all. Thank you. Tanya, I'll turn it back to you, my friend.
Michael, thank you. That was amazing. I have a question for you from Michelle. She's tuning in, bless her heart. She wants me to ask you why the time is now and why our products are it. You kind of
so that, no, that's a good
question.
End
with that.
Yeah, okay, perfect. So the timing is now is because of what I said. Nobody knows about this. Okay, no one, nobody. And now, if you know about timing of things, and guys, do you know our products just keep getting better and better and better? Like, we obviously can't say we treat, prevent, or cure or mitigate disease, but I have my father here because of these products, right? I mean, I could go in and tell you story after story just in my family alone. Like, I used to take 40 supplements a day, you guys, and now what I take is in a Dixie cup. And at 55, I'm doing more than I've ever done in my life. And let me just say this, everything in life is about timing. You know, I spent 40 years looking for my spouse, and I found one of the greatest humans to ever walk the face of the earth, one of the greatest prophetic voices. And here's why. My wife even said this. Guys, do you know how I was brought into this business? Daniel Bernard followed the system, and he told me, he says, look, I know that if anybody will understand this, you will. And when we were done, my wife looked at me and she said, this is what we've been praying for. And people are out there right now praying for what you guys have, right? There's certain things that I wish I could tell you that's coming, that I talked about with Lisa Barnes the other day on Zoom. And my friend James was there in the background, and I told her, and she's like, it's okay. And so there's a lot of really cool things coming. I said this today or yesterday in the elite group, and you guys are more than welcome to you. And I know Michelle's going to share this with you guys. And I'm doing presentations April, May, and June, three times a week, Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday, Tuesday and Thursday at 8:30 Eastern, and Saturday at 11 a.m. Eastern. Think about moving them up on Saturday a little bit more so more people on the West Coast can join. But my team's going to be doing, Dr. John Huey is going to be doing that. Guys, you know the people that we're attracting to this company? When I was at the doctor's meeting I got a chance to speak with Dr. Jess and Melody Rodardi and Brett and some of the other people. And I was really just encouraged, because I found out, my friend, Dr. Christina Parks, is in my band. It's like all these people that I've built relationships with that I wish I would have shared with. But I can tell you what right now is I'm not taking for granted that anybody, and I'm going to use this last example, Tanya. So I started asking questions. I saw people making 5 times diamond and 7 times diamond. And let me encourage you guys to do this, okay? I met Amy and Grant at an event. We went to Croatia together. Grant inspired me. He was one of so many people that climbed up to the top of these rocks and never jumped off, and he was the only one that jumped off. People were scared, right? If you listen to them talk at this last event in New Orleans, like, he just realized that it took 2. It's what you witnessed from them was scripture. It says 2 are better than 1. When 1 falls down, pity the one who falls down and doesn't have someone to help them back up, right? You guys have a team with Sean and Michelle. Look at the dynamics between those 2 people. Like, they're leaders. They're together. They're here for you. You have great leadership. Just look at this. You have 66 people on this call, right? And so timing is perfect. Timing in life is everything. I have people that have been watching me do this for 12 years and seen the results that we've got and the health benefits that we've got. And they're starting to come around. All my friend Jason just said to me, hey, I know you're in town. I want to talk to you about the products, all the time. I have people that I didn't even know were watching me. Remember this, people, you see Tanya shaking her head. People are watching you no matter what. People are watching you. They're watching your confidence. They're watching your position. They're watching how your perspective is. People are always watching, but just remember, timing doesn't stop for anybody. Timing doesn't stop for anything. If I didn't position myself in this company when other people were telling me I was crazy, I wouldn't be here today. I wouldn't have the things that I have. I wouldn't be able to go to Ohio for a week and not worry about what was going to happen. I'm speaking at my uncle's funeral on Thursday, and he was my hero, and he didn't listen to me. But guess what? It's okay, because some will, some won't. So what? We got a lot of people to impact. So thank you for that great question. You just inspired me, Michelle. How many people know that Michelle always asks you the questions to inspire yourself? A true leader asks other people questions to inspire them. So
100%.
That's one of my good friends. So thank you.
That's how she works. She's not even here and she's inspiring, right? That's
I
how
love it.
Michelle works.
I love it.
I just thank you again, Michael. And I just wanted to end with this. I know that you guys may hear all of this, and I know some of you are just kind of like, yeah, maybe it's scary to you that people are always watching you, or you're not in a, you feel like you're not mentally in a place to have a great big pipeline, the posture, the position, the perspective. And that's where I just want to say to you to trust the process, because when I said yes to LifeVantage, I didn't believe in myself, but I believed that there was more for me. And I trusted the people that were ahead of me, and I leaned on them in every single thing that I did. And I showed up over and over and over again. So consider it your job when you're new here to lean on the person that brought you in, and to use third-party validation whenever you can, because it's going to be their job to edify you and lift you up and help you build that belief while you continue to believe in them and the process in which they can help you as you go along. And then the pipeline's going to grow, and then you're going to have the posture, you're going to have the position, and you're going to have that better perspective because you've leaned on people. So thank you so much, Michael. We appreciate you. Okay, guys, don't go away. I want to try real quick. I want to try and see if I can do what Sean does. Give me 1 second. This is gonna not feeling good about this. Hold on, I just don't know how he does it. And if I could figure this out, wouldn't that be so cool? Studio effects. Hold on. No, this is all I got. No, okay. Oh, see, I got a hat. I did it for me. Sorry. Wah, wah. Okay, anyway, thanks for coming on. Ciao, Bella. Love you guys. Bye. Thanks again, Michael.